we've got questions for the Bourbon on the Banks crew, and you talked about this at the start there when we first chatted about, yes, the event is Saturday from 2 to 6, correct? 1 to 6 with some early access, but that's not all that's happening around Bourbon on the Banks. So can you talk about some of the other things that kind of kick it off, and even go maybe later into the night at some other locations around Frankfurt?
Well, this year it starts on Thursday with a couple of events. We have a boat tour on the Bourbon Belle with award-winning mixologist Heather Wibbles. She's going to be teaching a bitters class on the boat. There's only 30 tickets available for that. It's over half sold out. We encourage you to get those quickly if you can. That one takes off at 2 o'clock. She's going to walk you through 3 different drinks as you are boating up and down the river. And it's a gorgeous boat. It's a really great experience. I've done it. You will get 3 full cocktails. You will go home with her book and a tumbler. So that's really fun. And then you can go grab some dinner and head out to Whiskey Thief Distilling. They are going to have a kickoff party at their distillery, which is 10 minutes outside of Frankfurt. They'll have a bonfire, some free distillery tours. They've got a full bar there. You'll be able to sample. They'll have live music, cornhole. It's a great distillery. It's a good time out there. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's Thursday. Friday, there's a lot going on. We start off with a bourbon pairing, and that is with Peggy No Stevens. I guess we should pause it for a second, but right now Peggy is going to be pairing some amazing appetizers with Limewater restaurant. I guess it's Limewater Bistro. They're making some really nice heavy appetizers to pair with some bourbons. She's going to walk you through that. That'll be a really fun event. That's at 1 p.m. at the Kentucky History Center in downtown Frankfurt. Following that, at 5 p.m. at the same venue, we have our very popular VIP reception and bourbon auction. Renee can probably talk a little bit about that event. He is our auctioneer, so you want to tell us a little bit about it?
So every year, our partner organization, Downtown Frankfurt Inc., which is their mission is to encourage business development and visitorship in downtown Frankfurt. And they secure bottles for the auction. We usually get a pretty healthy sampling or donation from Buffalo Trace. And then they also allow other charities to donate bottles to the auction, and then they'll charge them a service fee overall. And then, so the nice thing is, I already know a couple of charities. I know there's going to be a couple of Pappies in there. There's always going to be some Wellers, and some of the harder Wellers to get in there, maybe a single barrel or a full proof and that kind of thing. Usually there's a couple of the antique collection. There's maybe even from Beam, a Master Keep. We usually get something good from Wild Turkey. And then I'm not saying the distilleries are donating those. Buffalo Trace donates, but the rest of them are coming from charities that secure these whiskeys from their membership, and they put them in the auction. And some of them run bars too, like the Elks Lodge runs bars, so they get allocated whiskeys, and the really good ones they'll hold back for the auction instead of selling them for by the drink. So and then Downtown Frankfurt Inc. secured a Four Roses barrel. So we have a barrel pick experience at Four Roses, and it's possible that we'll have another barrel in the mix too. Well, actually we do, because Whiskey Thief is donating a barrel. They're the primary sponsor for the Friday night event, and that is their sponsorship, is donating barrels. So we have actually 2 barrels. This is the first time we'll have 2 barrels and barrel pick experiences for sale at the auction. Usually we only have 1. So we don't. It's early in the year for me to give you a list of what we have because I don't have a list yet. I just have gotten wind of some things early on, and of course the 2 barrel picks. But it's a good. There's some rare, hard to find whiskeys every year, and if you're the high bidder, you get to take it home.
Yeah, and we have basically it's you'll have dinner and outside in their beautiful patio, you'll get to sample from. We usually have 10 to 12 distilleries there that are represented sampling, and several people that you'll recognize in the bourbon industry. We don't have the complete list yet, but we're gonna focus on some like experiences out there in the garden, not just sampling. I do know that it's bourbon night. I just blanked out. Chad and Sarah are going to be there. They'll be part of our bar, and they'll be walking you through an old-fashioned experience there. So yeah, that's a really neat event. It's a chance to get a little dressed up and rub elbows with people in the industry, and it's a really nice event. While that is going on, at 6:00 we kick off the Esprit Credit Union sponsored event called Bourbon Street on Broadway, and that is for families and adults. It's free. There's a ton of free activities for the kids. We have fire performers, live art. We've got human statues and balloon clown people, and a circus that performs. There's a lot going on. There's music, and it's really a good time. It's definitely a favorite of the locals and the surrounding communities to come to that event. So we encourage that. That goes until 9:30, and we also have Four Roses Pub Stroll. So we'll have several of the downtown restaurants and bars participating in that. So you'll have a chance to win some tickets to next year's event if you participate in the pub stroll. So yeah, I think I covered all the Friday events, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course Saturday after the festival, from 5 to 9, we in the same parking lot where you get your ticket check in and everything. We have the Goodwood after party, which is a live band, and then there's food and drink for sale there as well, and that'll go until 9:00. So we'll keep you busy from Thursday to Saturday, and that doesn't even cover, all of the local history walks that Frankfurt provides, and the museums that we have, the distilleries that are within 20 minutes are countless. You could come for 2 weeks and not get bored. You can definitely plan a huge vacation.